What's up, homies, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna bring you guys a little gap talks, and if y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all know about my little gap talks that I'll be having on my story. This topic is going to be about anxiety and depression, and I know this can be a little sensitive for some people and it's still a bit taboo conversation to have, but I felt like just sharing my views and my opinions on anxiety and depression and just kind of things that I do to deal with my own anxiety and depression. Just a little disclaimer, I'm not a professional, I'm not a therapist. Like I said, this is just my views, my opinions, and just how I deal with it personally. So if you guys are interested, then please keep on watching. Okay, so for starters, what is anxiety, what is depression, and where does it even come from? And personally, I feel like it does come from childhood traumas and certain situations that we've been through, and we kind of bring that subconsciously with us as we get older, and how we deal with things and these little small bad habits that we have. So anxiety and depression comes in so many different ways for a lot of us. Anxiety can come in biting your nails, eating a lot, sleeping a lot, drinking a lot, smoking a lot, not being able to be in big crowds or just be around people in general because it just freaks you the fuck out. I know for me personally, I get like that sometimes because I don't want to be around people, and sometimes I would even lie about because I'd be like, I don't want to be around anyone, so I'd just make up something and be like, yeah, I'm busy, I can't. And so not that it's like has to do with anyone, it's nothing personal, it's just how people deal with things. And you know, being depressed can, you know, cause you to sleep all day, be in bed all day, be in a dark room all day, and these little small things that can happen. And I really feel like like I said, a lot of our childhood traumas and situations that we've been through are one of the main causes as to why we get our anxiety and depression as we get older. And there was something that my mentor Matt Rosa, he mentioned and said that we are born with two fears. We're born with the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Everything else is just made up and brought onto us when we're younger. And I really feel like that's so true, because you're ever like wanting to do something and you're like deep down you're like, okay, I'm ready and I'm gonna do it, and like you have all this energy, right? And then there's this little voice in your head that's like, no, what are you doing? That's so stupid. And you know, you start talking to yourself, and you really think about it, like, where does that even come from? Like, who called you stupid? Who called you dumb? Who said that your idea was dumb? You know, like, you really have to dig deep and think about who is it that you've been talking to, or who, when you were younger, you know, you tried to do something and they just like shut you down completely. So now you're, as an adult, you're scared to do certain things because in reality you're scared of what other people are going to think about you. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just something to be aware about. And not that the people that, you know, have told you this are bad people, but those are just thoughts that were brought onto them by other people in their life, and it's a constant cycle was brought onto us. It can be from our parents, from our siblings, from our aunts, uncles, grandparents, whoever you grew up with or whoever you're around. You know, that's the kind of mentality they have, so it kind of stuck onto you. So it's been a long journey for me personally on how I deal with things. It wasn't until recently, like about a year and a half ago, that I realized, okay, I need to deal with this in a healthy way. I mean, I feel like I've been in different phases in my life. I've dealt with it differently, and the last time I was just like, okay, no, I really need to deal with this shit, was when I was constantly drinking. I was drinking excessively. Like, it started off just the weekend, and then it became every other weekend, and then it became every day. And I got to a point where I was like blacking out, where I couldn't remember anything because that's how drunk I was getting. And I don't say this to make anybody feel bad for me, it's just what I went through. And this was the first time in my adult life that I've dealt with that type of situation. So the way I started to deal with it was, one, become aware, like, hey, I have a problem, and you know, asking for help. Sometimes I feel like it's either that we're prideful or we're just too scared to ask people, like, hey, I need help and I don't know how to deal with this. So start talking to people, you know, your closest friends or your family. Like, it might be a little bit uncomfortable to talk about, but anyone that really loves you is gonna be there to support you no matter what. So one thing that I started to do was write down 3 things that I'm grateful for every single day, morning and night. And I know gratitude is portrayed like, oh, you should be grateful for everything that you have, but it doesn't mean that you don't deserve more. At least it was effective for me, because I feel like it all starts with you and how you talk to yourself. That's why the words I am and saying I am is so powerful, because what you say you are, you become, and what you do, you become. And it's also important to become aware of who you're hanging out with. And not to say that the people that you hang out with are bad, are they a good influence on you? Are they speaking nice to themselves? You know, are they supporting your dream? Do they have what you want? And so it sucks, because sometimes you have to give up your circle. That's another thing, is kind of distancing yourself from old people and old habits. It is difficult, but it is possible. You just have to want it and work on it consistently every single day. So that's why I say affirmations and gratitude is a way to start. The thing is journaling. I know a lot of people feel weird about journaling, because they're like, well, why the fuck would I journal? But it does help writing down your thoughts. Whether you're having a good or bad day, writing down your thoughts can really help. Like, you know, and you can always go back to see how you were feeling that day. And another thing is meditating. You don't have to be religious to meditate. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Meditation is for everyone. And I know for some people it's really hard, and for me it's still kind of difficult, because we kind of want to take control of our thoughts. And it's not kind of to control our thoughts, it's kind of to not let our thoughts control us. Yeah, there's so many videos on how to practice that and all. Another thing is personal development books and people that work on their personal development. If you're not a reader, then you can also look them up on YouTube. But one of the first books that I really love and always go back to is The 4 Agreements, which is this book right here. And I love this book because it just kind of breaks down a lot of the issues that we deal with when we have anxiety and depression. And I really like it because it breaks down like what we deal with and how to deal with it in a way. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. And I just love the way that this guy breaks it down. This book is by Don Miguel Ruiz. I just love this book so much. Like, if you haven't read it, you should definitely read it. This is probably one of the first books that I read, and I continue to read anytime I'm feeling low or I just need to pick me up. This is the book. And like I said, you can look up the audiobooks on YouTube. Another is Ask and It Is Given. This is learning to manifest your desires. And I know like a lot of us are like into manifesting stuff, but it kind of breaks down as to why we kind of feel stuck and why certain things don't work out in our favor. And this is by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Another book is The Alchemist. I love that book, and it's not a personal development book, but it just has such meaning behind it. So if you haven't read The Alchemist, definitely read that. And I'll list down the rest of the books that I've read. Or I'll put the link to the audiobooks if you guys don't like to read, and it's free, so yeah. So another thing is creating small little habits. It's the small little habits that I find that we all have difficulty doing. And one of them is looking at our phones the first when we wake up, and the last thing we do when we go to sleep. For me, what I started doing is that I don't keep my phone next to me unless like I'm working on something, but even then, like I try my best to just get up and go plug it in somewhere else. So that way the last thing I look at is not my phone, or the first thing that I look at is my phone. And I don't like that, because the first thing I want to do is just wake up and just be present. So ever since I got my cat, actually, I started waking up super early because he's up super early. So I'm up around like 5-ish, 5:30. And then I go for my walk like around 6:30. Every morning. I do live by the beach, so I really like walking on the sands and just being by the water. I don't know, it's just how I connect with myself. Having me time is so important for me, because especially the first thing I do in the morning is just be on my own. It's just because I feel like once I'm alone and I fill my own cup up, I'm able to go and fill everybody else's cup up. And if I don't have my me time in the morning, I feel like it just throws off my entire day, and I'm not able to I'm not able to do anything or be with anyone. And then my anxiety comes because then I'm like, damn, I don't want to be around them, and then I get really cranky, and I just don't like being in that mode. So, and don't be so hard on yourself if you're not like constantly progressing. Like, it's okay to have off days. Like, it's normal. We're all human. We are all gonna have off days, and you know, it's just how you respond to things and how you view things. You know, it's okay to be upset, whatever the case is, and then just, you know, try to find something that'll help you get out of that. And if you need a day, you need a day, and you don't have to explain yourself to anyone, because I feel like a lot of us, you know, feel guilt, you know, by not explaining ourselves to our loved ones or whoever that, hey, I'm having a bad day, so I don't want to talk right now. And also setting healthy boundaries. For me, that was another difficult thing to do, was setting boundaries with people without making them feel bad, because I was like, damn, you know, you're gonna think I'm a bitch or whatever the case is. But it is super important to talk to your loved ones and let them know, like, hey, today's not the day. From this time to this time is me time, and whenever I am better, or I'm like, you know, mentally I'm good, I'll get back to you. But yeah, those are just some things that I wanted to talk about. Really, this video might be all over the place, but I hope that this helps a little bit. Like I said, I wanted to bring this up because I feel like ever since the pandemic, like, a lot of us have dealt with this and don't know how to really deal with it, or don't know who to talk to about it. So yeah, those are like little things that have helped me, and just my views on this. I hope this helped anyone a little bit have a different perspective on it. I don't know. But so yeah, if you guys enjoyed this little Gab Talks, give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you guys want more little Gab Talk sit downs like these. I'll probably bring on people with me to talk about different topics, because this is kind of fun to do. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.